buddy up to Roderick. You don't even need to know her.
I must admit, my lord, there is little else that I would desire more than to marry her.
Oh, I see, I see. What is it about her that has you so smitten? You're just looking around randomly.
Her faith, her beauty, her wit, blah, blah, blah.
Really? Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
Yes. Yes. As we said, the drink gets to us.
Ah, of course, of course. How many drinks have you had this night, Sir Aurelius? A dozen?
After that, I feel like I've had a dozen. Or at least I feel like I need a dozen more.
Ah, then let us go and drink then. Until your dance. So we cut back to Sasha and Trumpure as they see Aurelius and Roderick, stumble back into the hall. Aurelius looks pretty downtrodden, and Roderick looks pretty sauced.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Hey, server girl. Anything interesting today?
One of the servants comes over, and it's Lady Jenna. And she's like, you would call me girl. You know who my father is?
Again, sorry about that. Same as last time.
You considered being respectful to women. You're never gonna get married with an attitude like that.
Sure. Tell me, do you have any rumors in the area recently?
Let's see if Game can recognize Game. Okay. Yeah, she has some rumors. She's like, well, I was speaking with my father, and I heard that the king is quite distressed over the death of his son Maddock, and now the subsequent disappearance of his unnamed infant. The queen is more distressed about her loss than the gossip credits her with. Yes, quite overtaken with grief.
I imagine any woman would be. Still, I've lost a few sons. I know the feeling.
He's like, okay, well, that's a very sad story. I'll make sure to get you your drink.
Oh, no, I'm fine now, but...
You called me over for a drink, and now you don't want one.
Well, I mean, my wife's not here right now, so...
You're married!
You need to be watching my behavior, yeah. Usually she watches it for me.
I think she's just like, I can't believe you're married.
Out of character, I can't believe she's still alive.
Yeah.
She was also Rook's wife. Well,
I had a question from the chat, by the way, Erik. Is that Wheel of Time on your top shelf? Back there?
Yes.
Wow, holy shit, good eye. Man, that's some motherfucking eagle eye shit, considering how small that fucking is on the camera? Wow. Alright.
What you doing, Trumpert?
Yeah, what are you doing, Trumpert? Watching everybody flail about?
Yes, it's quite amusing, their failures. But, I don't know. Maybe I'll talk to Lady Jenna as well, just to simply get to know her.
Okay.
She is the daughter of my lord.
Yeah. You call Lady Jenna over, and she's like, I'm quite busy right now. What can I do for you, Sir Trumpet?
No, I go over to talk to her.
Oh. She says, what can I do for you, Sir Trumpet?
I simply want to know more about you. What are your interests?
Horse riding, taking care of my younger brother, not being annoyed by men all day, and the joust. I feel as if these tournaments that the men have held lately are far too brutal and violent, just swinging swords about like some sort of common thuggery. It seems as if the joust is truly a gentlemanly way of things.
Do you enjoy the joust yourself, or simply to watch it?
I do not joust. She kind of blushes and says, no, of course not. A lady being on a horse and riding with the spear, who would think such a thing? Then she looks side by side.
Stranger things have happened.
She says, well, I am not a member of the Order of the Hatchet, so I do not ride that fashion. But yes, I enjoy watching it and betting on the champions. I have never lost.
Well, then you must have a good eye, milady.
I am good at picking winners.
Well, I hope I secure your favor then, and I hope I look as good as them then.
She looks you over and says, I do not think I have seen you on a horse or at a joust.
I'm not much for the joust, but I hope there are other parts of me that work.
She looks over you again and says, aren't you married to that old bat Indag? What's she now, 50?
Yes, I think is that right? You haven't sent me the full character information.
She's not 50 yet. She's just insulting your wife.
Okay. But isn't she?
She's close. She's like 48.
Yeah.
So Lady Jenna's like, you disgust me, sir. I am a good Christian woman.
That was not sexual. That was not meant to be an innuendo.
Well, she takes it that way.
Certainly sounded like it.
Yeah, it did sound that way. Yeah, she takes it that way.
Yeah,
I cannot believe you, sir. I will be speaking to my father about this.
Can I make a courtesy roll to try and clear that up?
Yes. Press F to not die.
Quick, people, roll for me.
Yeah, just roll. Yeah, okay. You managed to cover up your social faux pas. She's like, I apologize, Sir Trumpet. What you said sounded rather dirty. Perhaps
Yes,
it is just my readings in French lately.
I apologize, my lady. Well, have a good night at the feast.
Of course, I'll be serving alcohol all night to drunk, lecherous men. She returns to serving said alcohol. Alright. Anyone have anything else they'd like to do before the dance portion of the night?
Not besides enjoying the feast, really.
Up here?
No, just enjoying the feast.
Okay.
Maybe ruining Aurelius' life a little more.
Honestly, it's not that hard right now. Just let him be. Let Aurelius be Aurelius.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lady Iona eventually pulls you aside for a dance, and I forget what it's called from the Final Fantasy VIII soundtrack. It's called Waltz of the Fishes. I think it's called Dance with the Ballroom Fish, apparently. Yeah. So anyway, it's the ballroom music from Final Fantasy VIII kicks up. And everybody's like, oh, this is such a good time, then. I've heard this one just came over from Franklin. Yes, everything Frankish nowadays is all the rage. You see Sir Donovan the Yellow in the corner, and he's like, yes, of course. I myself enjoy the 1-2 step, and he does like 1-2 step, and then he shuffles sideways and does like a 1-2 step. And everyone's like, oh, Sir Donovan, you've learned to dance in the French style. Very impressive. And the Lady Iona pulls you aside and is like, Sir Aurelius, you do know how to dance in the French style, don't you? You have been upkeeping your lessons over the past few years?
I have.
Excellent. Then you'll have no problem with this little ditty.
Well, we'll see about that. My luck is not what it always is. All right.
Look, Aurelius.
He mutters under his breath as he just guided out to
All
the
right.
dance floor. 1,
1, 2, 3.
He succeeds. Yeah, you managed to dance without looking like a fool. So you have a pleasant dance. She does not speak with you during it, but, you know.
Can I trip him?
Oh,
I think that would lead to combat on my part.
it's I'll let you make an intrigue roll to like push somebody into him or something.
It'd be an awareness for Aurelius himself, probably.
Yeah. Okay. Make an awareness check, Aurelius,
Oh my.
to see if you notice this happening. I feel like I need to give you a check in something.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Deceitful, maybe.
I think cruel would probably be it.
Cruel, yes.
Yeah, it's almost certainly got to be cruel.
Maybe arbitrary.
No.
Cruel.
Cruel. Not honorable, certainly.
It's got to be cruel. I mean, you're just rubbing it in. Yeah, Aurelius, so your dance is going really well until right in the end when someone bumps into you and you, like, jerk against Lady Iona and she's like, ah. So, Aurelius, you seem to be quite clumsy tonight. Your dance was quite good right there until the end.
So I guess I'll go courtesy to apologize. Most sorry, someone backed into me at the last moment there.
Yeah, you definitely didn't see it, Sasha. He moves like a stealthy... Yeah, you managed to apologize. He's like, well, perhaps I shall see you at next year's feast. Then she just stares at you.
I pray that the chance will come, my lady.
Alright. Something like flickers over her face, and then she turns around and kind of glides off. As soon as she's like 3 feet away from you, a wave of handmaidens encompasses her from both directions. And everyone's like chatting, and they're like, so that was Sir Aurelius. He's so handsome. And somebody else is like, you're totally going to... And then someone else is like, no, 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 of course not. That would be improprietous. They say he's still a... The conversation keeps cutting off right before the end of the sentence.
All right.
So a considerably drunk Earl Roderick gets up in front of the crowd and is like, where is Sir Robert? Where is he? Robert! No one can find Robert.
Yeah.
He's
Where
like,
is
well, I
Robert?
was going to announce something, but you're going to have to find out. Never mind. I'm naming Robert the Christian, Robert the once pagan, my master of the hunt, officer of my court. And everyone's like, yeah, Robert. I need someone to care for my castles. Ever since Sir Armag died in combat, I've not had a castellan. I'm tired of doing it myself. That is why I'm going to ask Sir Trumpet, the Knight of Fire and Smoke, to be the castellan of Vagon. We'll get him good experience running his own castle as soon as it's finished. Everyone's like, yay, Sir Trumpet, he's kind of popular.
Yeah, I'm 5,000 glory.
But I fear that in recent years I have not been as well fed or alcoholed as I once was. That is why I am naming my seneschal Sir Sasha and his wonderful wife to make me her specialty roast duck foie gras. I shall have it every Christmas.
Oh.
Hey, Sir Sasha. And so, like, he hasn't really been clapping that much, but right now he's like, yes, Sir Sasha for Seneschal. And everyone's like, I guess I know who that is.
What's seneschal?
Seneschal is, like, the person who keeps everybody fed and
Okay.
clothed, that kind of thing.
Glorious.
He's like a quartermaster, but for mundane goods.
So glorious.
So, I was speaking the other day to Sir Leo. Leo, stand up! Where are you, Leo? And Leo was like, I'm right here. I was speaking to my good friend Sir Leo, and I said, Leo, I need a godfather for my son. I need a knight who is kind, just. Need a knight who is never angry. cannot be made jealous. A night of deep passion. Now I need you to spend the next year searching for such a night. I'm sure you'll have to compromise. We cannot have all of the qualities. Tell them what you told me, Leo. What did you tell me? And he like spills his drink forward onto the table. Francis like wipes his sleeve off and is like, and Leo's like, of course. I said there was no need for compromise, old Roderick, for there was only one man who could fill that position. The most noble knight in all of Salisbury, Sir Aurelius. That's right! I name Sir Aurelius my Justicia, keeper of the High Council. He will decide all things just in my kingdom.
Wait. I thought they were talking about Godfather.
Yes, he's also the Godfather. Yes, I'll need him to look after Robert, much as he does now. Get it? Because he's Robert's second-hand man. Get it? He's like saying to the crowd, only the night of Salisbury get the joke.
Ha 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 ha.
Sir Aurelius, if only we could all be as good as you are. But then we would probably all be virgins. Whole crowd explodes in laughter. I jest. He has children. He has children.
Wait, and how did you have your children anyways? It wasn't a wife, was it?
No, it was a wife.
Oh, I can't remember.
They just
I'm
kept
pretty sure
dying.
you had a servant girl once, right? And she died in childbirth.
And then, yeah, he immediately regretted it and atoned, and then that child died immediately.
Yeah, shame.
Yeah. Lots of people immediately dying for Aurelius.
So each of you gets 50 glory for being named an officer. And you'll get yearly glory as you maintain your officer status. Is there anything you'd like to do for the rest of the night? Men from all over Logres, of course, come over to congratulate you on your new officer positions, which raise you up another rank among the men of the table.
Ah.
A bit.
And wait, do the two of them get officer and do I?
Yeah, those are all officer positions. Master
Oh, that's for sure.
So that's three then.
Justician, Castellan, and Seneschal. Yeah.
My Seneschal position, I feel, is more for Ella than anything else.
So, Trump, you're almost at the point where if the king visited Castle Vagon, you would be seated at his table. As it is now, you're always going to be seated at Earl Roderick's table.
Yeah.
As long as he has his own. Sir Robert, of course, will be seated at his right hand as his most noted knight, but you'd probably be seated at his left for being one of his bannermen.
Cause you said Robert.
I like how you and Aurelius have your petty dick-swinging war over the size of your castles. And Sir Robert's like, I don't even have manners. I'm just famous as a motherfucker.
He's just survived a long time. I have to arrange something about that.
Wow.
Good
What?
God. Trumper is so evil.
Yeah.
I want Trumper to live like 100 years old and be like the founder of Mordred's Thrashers, like grandfather Trumper. It's like, all right, Mordred, now I'm going to teach you how to kill a man with a two-handed sword. Ah!
We've got Aurelius trying to be sort of the forerunner of the Knights of the Round Table sort of ideal. We've got Sir Trompert for the Thrashers.
Okay, so anything else you'd like to do during that night?
What is Earl Roderick's wife's name again?
The Countess Ellen?
So, sometime during the night, well, sometime during the feast, I would like to speak with Countess Ellen.
Okay. Yeah, you request a meeting with Countess Ellen. You'll have to wait about an hour. She's very popular among the women. And when you get up to her, she says, "Ah, Sir Aurelius, I see that you have rebounded from your failures tonight well."
I only hope that
You show yourself in good form. I do not mean to insult. What I mean to say is, many men who had been in the position you had would have slunk away. But you hold yourself high with honor. That is good.
I only hope that the Lady Iona viewed it similarly. But
You said something to offend her, from what I hear. She expected something more out of you at the end of the night, and you disappointed her.
My apologies.
It's
Do you
not
know
me
if
that
she
you have
is-
to apologize to.
Do you know if she might be around? I have a more substantive proposal that I wish to give to her, but I was not sure if she was yet amenable to it.
So
Go ahead and try.
she's like, a more substantive proposal. Perhaps you would let me look over this proposal before you embarrass yourself any further this. I would be willing to do this for my husband's Justicar.
I would be grateful for any such assistance.
Yeah, and what will you ask her?
I have been long in search of a wife, and I would be honored if she would accept.
It's all Roger you have to talk to that.
Yeah, so
Yes.
she's like, yes, you would need to speak to my husband about that.
Well, I would.
I understand that you
know
pursue
if
this girl amorously, but just how passionate are you? Why don't you roll 3d6 and see what your passion Iona is?
Done.
All right. 3d6 it is.
Decent.
Decent.
Super average. He says, well, I think you've demonstrated a suitable liking for her. Perhaps one day it could grow to be something slightly more amorous. I will give you some advice, young Aurelius. And I say young because you are very, very young in this manner. Have you considered just asking her on a falconry trip? It is, as the young ones put it, a date.
I'll just
I
have
shall, then. I shall
Perhaps
spend
you
the
should
year
bring
practicing.
some noticed falconers along with you. Isn't Sir Trompiert a good falconer?
No.
Not that I'm aware. Sir Robert is.
Are you sure you wish to bring Sir Robert along? He might sneak the girl out from under you. I do rather like the fellow, although he does seem to have designs on my daughter.
In that matter, I can only advocate on his behalf. I know you had concerns about his religious leanings, but over the past year, I have had the chance to observe him in all of his
Yes,
religion.
I understand he's been hanging out with the watermen. His religious piety must be quite extreme if he's gone from his drinking and whoring to only drinking water.
Eh.
It is as you say, ma'am.
Very well, I might have to take a second look at him. Now, why don't you find Lady Iona sometime before this winter and arrange for a falconry trip, perhaps with Sir Robert in tow.
Very well.
Is Sir Robert good at falconry?
Yes, he is. He's got like a 15 or something in it.
There's a reason he was named Master of the Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
For
And
hunting?
it's not because he's
I think it's
super
his family
famous.
bonus.
So, what would you guys like to do with the rest of the night there? I think Countess Ellen is definitely dismissing you at that point.
Yeah, I move away. I will attempt to find Lady Iona when the appropriate time comes and
She's gone.
stand in. All right, well, I hope the invitation goes through the
Very
chain
well. Yeah,
link
yeah.
to
You
the ladies.
could have the ladies pass it along.
Oh.
Basically, yes.
Can I intercept this?
I don't think
Can I
so.
stab him?
Darn.
No. I definitely don't think you can interrupt the telephone chain. That's a sacred bond right there.
Really?
Yeah. Haven't you ever played telephone? You can't interrupt that chain. The message may be garbled, but always gets through. Trumpet manages to marry the Earl's daughter before Robert, and then he will make it even? Oh, man. Holy fuck. Okay, so here's what happens. Trumpet murders his wife and his nephew, ends up inheriting a ton of fucking stuff, marries Jenna, and gets, like, another 16 manors, ends up becoming an instant baron. And he's just like, what's up? It's me, Baron Trump here.
I feel like at that point,
Builds a second
Aurelius
castle around his first one.
Just captures the land with Aurelius, Sasha, and Robert, and then just makes them all become their
You
legion.
literally, you get all the manors around Aurelius's and just build castles on his border.
I think I would have to go to the launch a crusade or something against this.
With what?
Crusade against Trump
What?
here.
What manner?
Yeah.
I guess not.
All right. I you know what? It's interesting how this is brewing. At some point, it's going to explode. And there's going to be no just recourse but war.
Oh man.
I mean, it's not like Aurelius has done anything against him. It's just Trump enjoys fucking with him.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you'd like to do tonight before the two of you end up killing each other? You tie your left hands together and have a knife fight in the tower dungeon.
How far before Aurelius starts to actually challenge me to a duel?
I
So
mean, he won't
dueling's
unless
not
he
a thing
finds it
yet.
out.
Oh.
I mean, when people duel nowadays, it's like basically justifiable murder. There's no like, let's have it duel at the back. I slap you in the face with your glove.
But no, just like challenge me to a duel to
I
restore
don't
his
know.
honor. Because
I
I
don't
think
know
that's
that
hasn't caught you in
you haven't
anything
actually
yet.
hit his honor yet, right? Everything you've been doing, you've been keeping it secret.
I guess.
You're gonna
That's
have to be
just
a
not-
little more overt.
He's just not aware enough to see the obvious things I'm doing to ruin his life.
That's one way to look at it. All right, so I haven't heard anyone say that they had anything else they wanted to do. So
I don't think so.
we're gonna move forward. The two northern Saxon kings, Octa and Iosa, who you fought before in the year.
Didn't people die during that battle?
A lot of people died during that battle.
Didn't Sermon die during the battle, I think?
That was the battle where you became. Yeah. That was the year 489. Trumpet was there, so Sermon was dead before then. Yeah, so all of you were there. And Sasha got taken out early. Yeah. But that was the year 490. Oh, damn, I forget what the battle in 490 was. I feel like I definitely need to get a wiki. That was the Battle of Lindsay in 490. You faced Octa and Eos and forced them back. They have escaped from their prisons. Reports are coming in of great rejoicing among the Saxons, and many volunteers are moving towards the escaped king's strongholds to block them from forming a new army. The king, King Uther, is acting very oddly. He's rarely seen, and his courtiers carry on business for him. The doctors are seeing to him in his chambers, and everyone knows that he is ill. However, one day during the summer, Earl Roderick is charged with going to the king of Malahut and formalizing an alliance to fight the Saxons. He would like to send the three of you, plus Sir Robert, and your squires, and of course all of Trompert's knights as an honor guard.